Okay, let's dive right in. The world of marketing is going through its biggest shakeup since the internet itself, and it's all thanks to generative AI. But the real question is, how do you actually win in this new landscape? Well, today we're breaking down a new, research-backed playbook that's designed to do just that.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start by really understanding this fundamental shift in search. Then we'll unpack the new rulebook, which is all about one thing: authority. We'll look at the 4 different types of authority, decode what each AI engine is actually looking for, and finally, lay out the playbook for how you can put all of this into action.
First things first, we have to get our heads around the fact that AI isn't just another marketing tool. No way. It's a completely new information landscape. The way people find answers is fundamentally changing, and that means all the old strategies, well, they're becoming obsolete, fast.
Think about it like this. For decades, search engines have basically acted like a librarian, right? You ask a question, and they point you to a long list of blue links, kind of like showing you different shelves where you might find your answer. But these new AI answer engines are completely different. They're more like a personal research team. They go out, synthesize information from a bunch of sources, and hand you a finished report, a single, direct answer. This means getting cited in that final report is the only thing that matters anymore.
So, if getting on a list of links is the old game, what's the new one? Well, the research is crystal clear on this. It is all about building and demonstrating topical authority. This is the new foundation for success. It's the whole ball game.
And how do we know this? It all starts with this number, 8,000. Look, this isn't just a theory or someone's hot take. The framework we're walking through is built on a massive, quantitative analysis of 8,000 unique citations from all the major players: ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, and Google's new AI overviews. This data gives us an incredible look under the hood to see which sources these AI engines actually trust and choose to cite in their answers.
And what that research found is that authority isn't just one thing. Not at all. It's a multidimensional concept. To win, you have to understand the 4 distinct faces of authority that these AIs are actually looking for.
First up is institutional authority. This is your classic old-school credibility. We're talking about major media outlets like Reuters, academic papers, government websites, and of course, the giant in the room, Wikipedia. It's the kind of authority that comes from being a big, established, and trusted institution. Next, we've got expert authority. This credibility comes from deep, specialized knowledge. Think about those industry-specific publications, analyst reports, or expert review sites like a NerdWallet or a Consumer Reports. It's not about being big, it's about being the most knowledgeable voice in a very specific niche. Third is community authority, and this one is fascinating. It's credibility that's earned from the crowd. These AI engines are now looking at forums like Reddit and Q&A sites like Quora to understand collective experience and what real people are saying. It's the wisdom of the masses, validated by actual users.
And finally, we have practical authority. This one might be the most surprising and honestly the most important discovery from the research. This is authority you earn simply by being genuinely useful. It comes from those super detailed how-to guides, objective comparison posts, and in-depth case studies that provide real, tangible value.
Okay, so we have these 4 types of authority. But here's the kicker, and you really need to get this. Not all AI engines treat them equally. Each one has its own personality, its own taste for what kind of authority it trusts the most. Let's break down what that looks like.
Let's look at the lineup. ChatGPT, for instance, is the authority purist. It heavily favors those big institutional sources, with Wikipedia alone accounting for a staggering 27% of its citations. Perplexity, on the other hand, is the expert curator. Almost half its citations come from specialized blogs and expert review sites. Google's Gemini is more of a balanced synthesizer, even pulling in things like YouTube content. And finally, Google's AI Overviews is the democratic aggregator, using the widest range of sources, including community and, yes, practical authority from company blogs.
This all leads to the big, skeptical question that I'm sure is on your mind. Can your own company's content, your blog, actually be seen as an authoritative source by an AI? For real?
The answer from the research is a resounding yes, but with a really important condition. Vendor blogs achieve notable citation rates, but only when they provide genuine utility and objective analysis. The key takeaway? You can't just promote your product, you have to be genuinely, authentically helpful.
And we can see this working right now out in the wild. The research pointed to companies like Thinkific, who get cited by creating these massive, comprehensive guides. LearnWorlds gets cited for publishing objective comparison posts.
And Monday.com gets cited for creating content that fills information gaps nobody else is talking about. They are all demonstrating practical authority, and the AIs are rewarding them for it. Okay, so we know what to do, we know why it matters, but how do you actually do it? How do you build these different types of authority? This is where we get to the playbook, the Authority Orchestration Framework.
The core idea here is simple, but it is so powerful. This is not an SEO problem. It's not a content problem. Winning in the AI era requires you to break down those traditional silos. It's about orchestrating every single function, PR, brand, content, SEO, around one single unified goal, building authority.
The research proposes a structure called the Authority Hub model, and it just makes sense. In this model, every department has a clear role. Your PR team is chasing earned media to build that institutional authority. Your content team is building practical authority with those amazing in-depth guides. SEO makes sure it's all discoverable, and brand ensures the message is consistent. And overseeing the whole thing is an authority strategy council, making sure everyone is rowing in the same direction.
Now, I gotta be honest, this isn't a quick fix. It's a strategic, phased rollout. You start small in the first 6 months, just building the foundation and running pilot projects. Then, you scale what's working over the next year. Finally, it becomes this continuous cycle of optimization. This is a long-term investment in building a powerful, competitive moat.
And to make this work, the research shows you absolutely need a few critical things. Commitment from the very top, the ability to actually measure what you're doing, the right resources, and maybe most importantly, patience. Authority isn't built overnight. And of course, you have to tailor your strategies for each specific answer engine.
So that brings us to the final question to leave you with. As AI becomes the new front door to the internet, you have to ask yourself, is your organization still playing the old game, just building a list of links? Or are you ready to play the new game, building the kind of true, multi-dimensional authority that's going to own the future of discovery?